Let me turn it on. So when the iPhone 11 came out last year, I jumped right on it. You know, it was the best phone ever, yada, yada, yada. So this was also around the time that my heart was deep in nostalgic agony for anything retro. It was all I could think about, and I needed a phone case. And that's when I discovered this bad boy. Now, my wife and I bought our phones together, and so we agreed that we would also buy cases for these $1,200 phones that we were buying. Do you remember when flagship phones used to be $500 or even like $200 when they were subsidized? Ah, the good old days. Anyway, I could not find a case that I liked until I stumbled upon this guy. Now, this case is available from various retailers under all sorts of names. I just so happened to buy mine from a site called CaseBoy. If I'm being honest, I thought I was buying a one-of-a-kind product that was only made by CaseBoy. CaseBoy, brilliant, clean, easy website. Only about $25 with free shipping, and the buying process was painless, no red flags. I actually felt pretty good about myself because my case was actually cheaper than my wife's non-GameBoy phone case was. It didn't take me long to realize that everything wasn't as it seemed. My CaseBoy was coming from China. I'd seen this before. It actually took so long that I ended up ordering a really cheap silicone case while I waited for my CaseBoy to arrive. When it did arrive, there was no familiar CaseBoy branding on the packaging. It may as well have been ordered from AliExpress or something like that, which is fine. I didn't pay a lot for it. I should have expected it. I should have done more research when I was looking at the products. You know, it came, it works. Now, the first thing I noticed was the girth of the case, and it's not thin by any means, which is understandable because it has to fit a battery and all the internals for the whole device inside the case. Plus, there's a micro USB port for charging on the side. Now, there's 36 games pre-baked into this device, and they are Super Contra, Super Mario Bros., Tetrisa, Boom Man, Galaga, Excitebike, Donkey Kong, Balloon Fight, Spartan X, Arkanoid, 5 Chess, Mahjong, Pinball, Soccer, Load Runner, Nuts Milk, F1 Race, Battle City, Puyon, Circus, Ice Climber, Pac-Man, Mario Brothers, Tennis, Olympic, 1942, Macross, Star Force, Bomb Jack, Sky Destroyer, Badminton, Road Fighter, Chinese Chess, Urban Champion, Mappy, Penguin Coon Wars. Now, the buttons are a mushy rubber, which is to be expected. The case itself is a hard plastic with the edges being a rubbery material, and it fits extremely tight on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. I often held my breath just getting it on and off for this video. Now, they have this case for iPhones going back to, I believe, the iPhone 6, and they also have some Android models depending on where you buy it from. Now, one thing I should note is that the screen actually looks really good. There's a good frame rate and the buttons are responsive, more so than I actually anticipated it being. So big points here. Now, booting up, you are greeted with a familiar screen. And this groovy song plays every time, which I have a problem with. Now, I have this weird intense phobia of ever having my sound on my phone on in a public place. And this device, every time you turn it on, the sound is on by default. And whenever you exit a game and go back to the main menu, it makes me want to throw up all over the place. Not only that, but there's only a single button to adjust the volume. And when you push it, it gets louder before it gets muted. And so to turn it on and have it muted, you have to hold the power button and then really quickly press the sound button twice. It stresses me out. Now, there's one other thing I have to point out, and it's probably isolated to my unit, but my screen is crooked. You know, Mario should not be running up a hill, and this is something that I just cannot unsee. I posted a photo of this device to my Instagram page, which you can go follow me. It's at Tynology Gaming. It's brand new. And it took everything in me not to Photoshop it back straight because it was driving me insane. But then I wouldn't be able to point it out here in this video. Now, I spent 2 weeks with this case on my phone a long time ago, well before we were in quarantine, just to see how often I would actually use it. You know, I love the games. The device is always going to be with me. Here's the thing. The only time I ever pulled it out was to show someone that I had the ability to pull it out, turn it on, and play these games. I quickly realized that it was not much more than just a novelty party trick. When it comes down to it, I have this $1,200 phone with an insane amount of processing power and virtually unlimited games to play for it, and something just felt off holding that, turning it around, flipping it upside down, and playing a 30-year-old bootleg game with mushy buttons. And there's the whole sound on by default thing. This is a thing, right? Can't be alone. Plus, at least on Mario, the A and B buttons are inverted. I am not sure if it's like that on the other games because I haven't played them all. And if we're being honest, my muscle memory for NES games is not that strong to begin with. So after a solid 2 weeks of trying to embrace my retro, my silicone case reclaimed its spot around my phone and has remained there ever since. Is the thing cool? Yeah. And it's neat to show off to people if that's your thing. Are diehard gamers going to be using this as their primary gaming device? Is it going to start ranking on Twitch's most streamed platforms? No, it's not. It's super basic. It is not the most comfortable. It's a novelty, and it nearly doubles the thickness of your phone. Now, there's another thing. I would wear what some would consider fairly tight pants. I blame it on being in a band for a long time. And I keep my phone in my back pocket 90% of the time. So you know that groovy startup music? Well, it may as well have been my entrance music to places that I showed up to, because my ass sitting on this on-off button would just boot this bad boy right up. And embarrassingly, I wasn't always the one that noticed the groovy music coming from my pants. This also often caused the device to die without me even playing it. Now, I have seen some people actually shave down these buttons to prevent that, which is a solution. Now, there is a place for this device. Some people love it. You know, I'm shocked that they're able to produce and ship this for less than $30, just parts alone. It just ended up being more work than it was worth in my use. But I also learned a lot. I realized that I don't really play mobile games when I'm on the go that often anyway. Tiny Tower was way too addicting. Pokemon Go was fun when I lived on Hollywood Boulevard, and I lost at Hearthstone a lot of times. I lost a lot. It turns out I would rather just bring my Switch Lite and its grip and its case with me wherever I go if I think I'm going to be able to play some games. You can find out more about that up there. Plus, I have my full game library and my NES and SNES collections through Nintendo Switch Online. What's your go-to for mobile or on-the-go gaming? Is it a console? Is it your phone? Is it a portable emulation device? Is it a Raspberry Pi? Is it a original Game Boy or Game Boy Advance? Something actually retro. Would you actually use something like this? If so, get it from my affiliate link down below and help me out while I grow this channel. I would appreciate it. Be sure to follow my new Instagram account. It's Tynology Gaming. I'm posting some behind the scenes and upcoming video ideas, chatting, talking, commenting, doing the gram. Cheers!